Welcome to this elucidating episode of Talking Lamar. Today, I'm talking about what it means to enter a contest that includes travel with me. Let's get to it.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I forgot what I was talking about.
What are you talking about?
I am talking to you.
That's just what I was talking about.
It's Talking Lamar.
Hi, Bob and Sheri. This is Jennifer out of Nashville, and I was just listening to you guys talk about your recent trip to Clearwater, Florida for the contestant and the great time that you all had. And I have to say, I'm so glad you had such a good time. But I was worried when I heard about the contest that it would just be like, if I won, it would just be me and Lamar, which Lamar seems like a fun guy to hang out with, but it just seemed like awkward to just have me and him for the whole weekend. So I'm glad there was more people. And that's good to know for future contests that it wouldn't just be me and Lamar, which, again, corn cob, we could have so much fun. But, you know, the more the merrier. Thanks. Have a great day.
I mean, I can see how you might find that awkward, you know, especially if you're a little bit shy.
Yeah. Well, if that was the case, we'd probably call it the Golden Corn Cob Paradise or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, we never think about that when we're making an ad for that, have we? Have we thought about that?
It says, as the person who voices the promos, we'll send you and a guest to spend time with Lamar.
Oh, okay.
That does,
right.
But that does suggest
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, girl, congratulations. How do you feel about strangers? Because you're going to spend a weekend with one. I wouldn't.
Oh my God.
I couldn't do that. If I won a contest and it was just going to be me and like Chuck Norris for a few days, I don't think I could. I think I would feel so awkward and like terrible about it. Wouldn't you? And you're like I mean, is there any?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No. That would be. It would be like an awkward blind date, even though it wasn't a date. I mean, it would just be. There's so many layers of awkward. So many layers of awkward.
And I would not be able to escape the feeling that that a pork chop had to be tied around the dog's neck to get him to play with it. Chuck is the dog and I'm the pork chop.
Yeah, I could. Oh, no. But the other thing too is we always travel with multiple people, period. Tony's most of the time there. Heather or Doc One is there. And basically you're all, I mean,
almost always there.
Yeah. Being you all. Yeah. So there's usually there's safety in numbers. There's safety.
I've got the promo pulled up. Now I want to see if I did indeed say that. See if I was deceptive about what I did.
The Bob and Sheri Show could send you on a Florida foodie getaway with our Cooking with Lamar flyaway. You and a guest could jet off to Tampa to stay.
There you go. You and a guest.
Okay. You and a guest. Yeah.
Well, but that was no comfort, just a guest. And
No.
then she's still alone with Lamar.
Stuck with Lamar.
Hey. Wait. Let's try to leave the word stuck out of it.
Yeah, that was harsh. Because you know how these things go. The plus one might be even more bashful or not interested. Like the number of times that a radio station would be like, win dinner with Bob and Sheri. And the person who won was guaranteed to have a husband that hated
It didn't give a rat's ass about
and made it
Bob
clear.
and Sheri.
Made it clear.
Lamar and I did one time, we had an affiliate and they sent us, the B team, win dinner with Max and Lamar. So you remember this? So what they did is they sat us in front of them like we're the bride and groom at a reception. And we're all sitting there all looking at each other and they're looking at us and they've got everybody facing us and we're looking at them.
We're all watching each other eat.
Oh, it's the worst. I got to say, when it comes to having any sense, any showbiz or any social graces, you do not go to a radio station looking for that stuff, do you? You do not. They do not seem to have
You do. you're going to check up short. It's funny when people talk to me about a trip. When I was getting ready to go there, they go, "Man, this must be like so exciting." And it's so, I said, "No, well, don't get me wrong. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. We have a great, great time. But this is radio. This is not walking the red carpet. This
We ain't going
is
to anything the
radio."
Oscars. Yeah.
No,
Well,
that's right. That's
if
right.
you're Lamar, they're expecting something from you. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
It's not really, in a way, it's not restful because they want the personality, the bigger than life movie critic personality that they hear on the show.
This is where
that
Bob
is
was a
true.
genius. This is where Bob was a genius because people would pull me aside and go, I know Bob doesn't like to touch people or talk to people or look at people or have people touch him, talk to him, or look at him. So what should we do? Should we just ignore him? And that was what he wanted. I mean, you want to talk about a genius strategy? That was a genius strategy. Lamar at one of our win dinner. And we're into it, right? So we're in New York State, and
100%.
We've done the win dinner, and the husband is just like he would have rather gone to bed hungry and with a beer than come to this dinner. And at one point he said to me, he was like, he goes, "Well, I bet you two really think you're something." And I said, "You know what's hysterical?" I said, "You know what's hysterical? We actually think we're nothing and we're dying 1,000 deaths because we can't believe that you've been required to come eat dinner with two people that are nothing."
Wow.
Here's the thing about it is, in that situation, and I've seen it, I've been there, if the husband is somebody that does not listen to the show whatsoever, and he feels like he's being drugged to this thing, and why the woman wouldn't ask a good friend of hers or something.
Yeah.
Bring, they're going to have fun. But it's like, not only is he there, if I got drugged to something like that, there's no way that you're going to know it. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to know that I don't want to be there.
You got some raisin. Yeah.
You're
not going to do that to Carla. That's because you're not going to do that to Carla. Never mind us. We're nothing. But you're not going to make your wife feel any kind of a terrible way about
this is rule number
her.
one for a husband. Rule number one for a husband. If it is important to my wife, whether I care anything about it at all, it's important to me because I got a lot of stuff that my wife couldn't care less about, but she does it, hangs in, does whatever because it's important to me. That is, if that's not rule number one, it's in the top 3 of getting along. Mm-hmm. And it would be the same way with Max is a friend of mine. If Max said, "Hey, you want to go do so-and-so," I don't care so much about doing that, but I like hanging out with Max. So I'm going to go, I'm going to go and make the best out of it. But these cats, when they show up, they have to make sure that under no circumstances do we listen to you. And in fact, we're anti-listening to you. I mean, we're just,
It's almost
crazy.
as if the wife is a fan and that pisses him off for some reason. So I don't know if that's because he feels like it diminishes him. I don't know what the deal is. But I've seen this happen many times when you guys have done things like that.
Oh, yeah. It's just so ridiculous and so unnecessary. Like, it's unnecessary to be such a tool. But
now we do. I don't want people to think that we don't run across people that husband and wife are both listening.
Oh yeah, of course. This is not the majority.
It's not the majority. It's what sticks in your head. That's when that happens, it's the one we remember because it's, and now you're trying, and I've talked to Bob about this and we've all talked about it. You feel like you got to try to sort of win this person over just a little bit. Just make them have some sort of fun. You know what I'm saying? And so you're throwing everything you got. And they're not even cracking a smile. They don't, they're just not going to do it. They're not going to do it.
I'm just hyper conscious of how uncomfortable and embarrassed he's making his wife feel by his behavior. And so, of course, I'm going to overcompensate for that so that she doesn't, I'm going to make enough of a distraction so that his sourness doesn't get to dominate.
Yeah.
Too, like, there are a lot of things that I'll show up without Kevin. I mean, family things, work things, a lot of things. People like, where's Kevin? We've been together a long time. And he doesn't, like, I'm not here to torture him. There are things he
It's not
must
his
show
deal.
up for. Yeah, there are
Yeah.
things he absolutely has to show up for. And things where I'll tell him, you do not need to participate in this. You do not need to. Like, he didn't come, or he's not coming with me this weekend for Eric's wedding, in part because he has a prior commitment and we have this house full of animals and it's really hard to get away. So I was like, you know what? Let me just have this as a girls' weekend. And I mean, Eric is my bonus son from my former marriage. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't Kevin's thing. So let me just go, and the girls and I'll have a fun girls' weekend, and you stay behind. No, and I tell him point blank, I will not be using this against you in the future. I would tell you if I wanted you to go. And if, like, I won dinner with the guys from Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch, he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to do that, but I'll tell you who does, Max. Max is like, I definitely want to eat dinner with the
put my
Skinwalker
hand up.
Ranch guys.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's no reason to torture the people we love. But if you do accompany your partner to a work event or whatever event, and then you act like a big, giant dick, that's not cool. The only person you're punishing is the person you claim to love, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't even remember this man's name. Just that, I mean, and poor Bob, oh my God, there was nothing Bob could do. Bob could have pierced his own eyeball with a fork and it wouldn't have been enough for this man. Like, he was infuriated to have to be sitting across the table from Bob. I don't understand that. Was he jealous? Did he feel threatened? Who even knows?
Yeah. There's something really, really wrong.
Well,
about that.
Sometimes I know it's cliche, but it's how he feels about himself more than anything. Has nothing to do with you guys.
Yeah.
No, I felt, and poor Bob, Bob is like working, he's breaking an actual sweat. He's working so hard to win this guy over. And
he's over there dancing.
He can't be won over. Yeah. He can't be won over.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Once somebody
people
wants
just
to be
don't
miserable,
like you.
Yeah. And if somebody wants to be miserable, they're going to be miserable. I mean, that's part of some people's DNA. I know a lot of people that no matter what's going on, they're like, yeah, but it could, it could rain, or it could do this, or it could do that. They're always looking at the negative stuff, and that's what they like to do.
One of our kids dated this person in high school, and the parents weren't crazy about. They didn't want their kid dating. Now, you're a senior in high school, but okay, whatever. Everybody, every parent, every family gets to set their own rules. That's not for me to say. But these people did not want their kid in a relationship. And it was just a teenager high school thing. Like, it wasn't going to be forever. They did everything in their power to undermine this relationship. They were terrible to me. Like, because I was easy to find because I exist on social media and on the internet.
Yeah.
They would come for me. The minute the relationship ended and a little bit of time had passed, who's my bestie on social media now? These people, right? Sometimes we don't realize like how much of our shit is showing. Like, check your behavior, because do you really want to put your business out there in such an obvious way? Like, didn't you learn how to act at some point in your life? Didn't you learn how to straighten up and fly right? Like, what is that?
Not everybody.
Lamar?
Not everybody. I mean, I don't know.
And by the way, if someone won a contest and they were trapped at the Best Western Tampa with you, even if it was just you, they would have so much fun. They don't even know what they missed.
Well, here's the thing. This is effortless almost, because, what you're hearing right now is pretty much what you saw in Tampa. Because I talk to everybody. I mean, I talk to everybody. My wife, she calls me down. I mean, we'll go somewhere. We have this running joke between us because her mom, greatest mother-in-law in the world, Janice Dean, her mom, oh my God, never met a stranger. Just, I mean, here's a story. Carla had went down to Florida, where we were down there, and she's got 2 cousins that live down there, and it was Janice's sister, and she had passed years ago, and they had a nice house down there, and Janice wanted to go find the house and see how it looked. It'd been 25 years or something like that. So they ride around till they find the house, and Janice said, "This is the house," and Carla says, "Okay." She said, "Stop the car." Carla, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Stop the car. I want to see what it looks like on the inside." "Well, Mama, there's people living there. You just can't." She said, just come on, cut the car off and come on. She drags Carla up to the front door. She knocks on the door. People come to the door, and she tells the whole story. Her sister used to own that house, and they've been living in the house. I think they're actually might have been the ones that bought it from the sister, whatever. And she said, "Would it be okay if you show me the house?" And the lady said, "Yeah. Come on in. Can I get you something to drink?" She goes to a perfect stranger and asks to go in the house and look the house. She walked in, looked the house over. I mean, that's the kind of person she was. So anytime we go somewhere, and we both do the same thing, if one of us is talking to somebody and we're talking a little bit too long, or we're getting a little bit too much detail or whatever, when we turn around to walk away, the other one goes, "Okay, Janice Dean." I mean, we accuse each other of it all the time because, I mean, we just naturally, I don't know. If somebody's standing behind me or somebody's standing in front of me, I'm going to know something about them before the line gets out. I mean, it's just part of the deal. I don't know. I'm like the anti-Bob. I'm anti-Bob.
I always, whenever we do things in public, I always feel like I'm too quiet, because when I'm around you guys on the show, we've got to do the show. But when I'm around you in public, it's not that I don't say anything. I'm not as quiet as Doc is, but I'm generally more quiet. And I feel like I disappoint people because of that.
No, nobody's quiet as Doc. There's corpses that talk more than Doc. So let's do
Yeah, but where Doc was genius? Doc made it very clear from the beginning. I'll talk if I want to, and not if I don't. And so now people respect it, because I'll get DMs that'll be like, I hope I get to meet you guys one day in person. Doc doesn't even have to talk. Like, oh, look at that. His brand is such that literally just him being in the room silent will be enough. Lamar couldn't get away with that. If Lamar doesn't talk, it's like, I met Lamar and he didn't like me, or he was mad at me, or yeah.
Well, the thing about Doc is, and this is the thing, and maybe it's because he doesn't talk that much, because when he does talk, it's solid gold. Am I right, Max?
Every time.
It's solid. Every time. It is solid gold. I mean,
Someone said to Bob once, Bob, it was some douchey guy at the radio station, and he thought he was being funny. And he said, Bob, it's better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and have it confirmed. And Bob's like, yeah. A 4-hour radio show is going to be hard to listen to, though, as I just sit there with my mouth shut.
But he's right.
He's right.
The man talks for a living. You can't just
right.
Oh, why? Oh, no, I'm here, y'all. I'm just remaining silent so as not to confirm that I'm a fool. Like, it is the job. It is the job. But yeah, Lamar, you would be, if I won a contest and found myself, it's just you and me having a weekend of adventures together. By the end of it, I would be like, I made a new friend. This guy is really fun.
Oh yeah. Well, listen.
And not creepy. Never creepy.
No. If I talk to somebody, like if I call Amazon and I get through to somebody, we have a little bit of a conversation before I get off the phone. And I, we just always, I don't know. I find out a little bit about them. They find out a little bit about me. I don't know.
And a lot of times, because you do that, you get a little extra.
Oh, yes, you do.
Something.
Yes, you do. You get some. Listen. When you start off a conversation with customer service in a tone that you're pissed off about something, I don't know what you think you're getting out of that. I really don't.
I don't either.
I mean, that's no good. If you want to get pissed off, you got a good 10 minutes before you have to bring that out. You might want to start with the honey is what you want to start with.
The thing is, it's okay for you to be angry about what has happened, but the person you're talking to, you speak to and treat respectfully, and that's the difference. So I want my way of doing it sometimes is they don't understand how angry I am because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But sometimes if I've had really crummy service about something, I'm really pissed off. They need to know how pissed off I am, but I'm going to treat whoever I'm talking to respectfully.
When I have that situation, whoever I'm talking to, the first thing I say is, I'm really upset. And if my tone sounds harsh, I want to apologize up front because you are not responsible for this. I know you're not. I'm needing to get to the person that's responsible. Make no mistake about it. I'm not happy with the situation, but this is not your fault. And then we go from there. So I've relinquished them from, anything like that.
I like when I get somebody on the phone because it could be an adventure. Like, you don't know. Like, you could have a fun adventure on this phone call. Did I tell you guys? So you know that I spent a solid 5 days restoring my mom's phone and internet. Did I tell you about her?
Yes, you talk to everybody.
Did I tell you about her home security system? Okay.
No.
All right. So when I got into my mom's, when I finally got her internet restored and all of her email began loading that had not been loading for 2 months, I realized that my mom was being bombarded by the home security monitoring company. And it was something that my late stepdad, he had congestive heart failure. So he knew that time was short and he was trying to do everything in his power to set my mom up to be safe and okay. And he insisted that they put this security system in the house. My mom, I found out, has not turned it on or activated it in, it'll be 2 years in December, which I think is par for the course in America, right? You have security system, you don't use it. They were sending my mom 6, 8, 9 emails every single day about this flaw in the system. So I read through the emails, and the emails just said, there's a misfire, miscommunication, but it never really spelled it out. So I said, where is the box for the security system? And my mom takes me to it. And I'm unfamiliar with the company. I've never seen the box before. So I'm studying it. And I'm Googling, and I figure out how to run a test on her system. So when I test it, I realized that the security monitor, the sensor on the front door, is what's malfunctioning and causing all of this chaos. So I don't know how to fix it. So I call the customer service number, and I get a nice person on the phone. And I said, I'm calling about my mom. She's sitting right here. I need to either get a tech out here to deactivate and change this sensor, or maybe you can just deactivate it remotely so it stops misfiring. And the guy said, can you see the sensor? So I said, no, my mom had her front door replaced and did not understand that there was a sensor attached to it, so that when they took the old door away, they took the sensor. And the guy said, well, do you think you could get that sensor? And I said, no, that was like back in December of 2023, and it's in a landfill probably, or has been repurposed for something else. And so the guy said, so if you could go get that sensor, I can tell you how to put it on the door. And I paused for a second and thought, this is a me problem. Like, I'm not communicating effectively. So I said, well, let me back up and explain to you that the sensor no longer exists. It is not in this house, and the Lord himself on a skateboard could not find this sensor. This sensor is so forever gone. And the guy said, but it would make so much sense if we just attach that sensor to the new door. So my mom, when I'm on the phone or doing the show from my mom's house, my mom stands or sits next to me and just talks her head off the entire time. Whether or not I can, I can't even juggle all of it. So my mom is just talking a blue streak. Well, Sheri, would you tell them that I'm trying, Mom. They don't. I said, so let me ask you a question. How have I been unclear? How have I been unclear about the sensor? And he said, it's not that you're unclear. I just don't think you understand how easy it would be to reinstall the old sensor. And I said, no, I understand it would be very, very easy, like a thumbtack. But the old sensor is gone forever. It's so gone. It's graveyard dead gone. It's gone, gone, gone. And he goes, So, ma'am, if I understand you correctly, you can't install the old sensor on the new door? No, sir, I can't. And that man said to me, well, you should, if you would have just said that in the beginning.
Oh my God.
I said, oh, you know what? You're right. Yeah. Is this
going
call
down a
being
sheet.
recorded for quality assurance purposes? Because I definitely should have said that. So he deactivates the sensor on their side so that my mom stops getting these alerts and messages because they're freaking her out. You know, she's getting 6 emails a day. She thinks she's constantly under attack. So they reset the sensor from their side. And the man said to me, so before I hang up, ma'am, I have to explain to you that without a sensor on the front door, if someone were to come in the home through the front door, the system would not be tripped. And I said, my mother hasn't turned the system on in almost 2 years. Everyone could come through the front door right now and the sensor will not be tripped. And you could see that, like, he just couldn't, like, there was nothing on the script in front of him about, we're paying for this service, but we're not using it. So he said, but you're paying for the service. And I said, I know. When can I cancel the contract? And so I put it in my phone, like on November something or the other, I'm going to call and cancel the contract and move my mom to some kind of different security situation. Y'all, it takes so little to just like not be insane and not be crazy and not be wrong. And you don't need to beat up on the customer service people. But when I tell you the sensor is in a landfill and has been for 1.5 years, and you ask me, well, can you go get it? Oh, yeah. Yeah. My mother lives in the desert. It's the hottest summer on record. Let me take my bitch ass down to the landfill and crawl around on my hands and knees looking for something the size of a silver dollar that's been there for 18 months. That costs 17 cents. Let me definitely go do that.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for another exciting episode. I hope we've straightened this out. So do not be afraid to sign up for any contest that we have, because you will not find yourself alone looking across the table at somebody going, what are you doing? That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
And you'll get a separate room too. You might want to
separate room. Won't even be adjoining. Won't even be adjoining. Separate floor. Might even get a separate hotel. Whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But I hope y'all have had a good
Lamar
time.
will talk
I know
sweet
we have.
to you. He'll talk sweet to you, even if he has a grievance.
And listen, come back for this next episode, because gosh knows I hate a quitter. And don't forget to check out the multiple award-winning, Webby-nominated True Weird Stuff podcast. I promise you're going to love it. Can't promise you'll sleep good after it, but you're going to love it while you're listening. Now, let us know what you think. Go on the Bob and Sheri app. Look down at the bottom. Click on that microphone. Start talking. We listen to Max listens to every message. Then he shares them with us. Now, you can also call 844-52-SHERI if you want to go old school. Until then,